Welcome to Friar's Dev Diary, Episode 1. Sonic's chilling out here, helping me. As some of you may know, I've been endeavouring to teach myself BlitzBasic recently. You may have seen my first project, Nag Racing. So this is the platform game that I'm trying to work on now. It's been a bit of a learning process. And I'll show you what I've got so far. So, initializing everything, loading the shapes in, got some variables. The idea is going to be, these blocks are like Lego bricks, and the idea is going to be that the game is based on my daughter, that she's going to be able to place Lego bricks and delete Lego bricks in order to sort of solve puzzles while platforming. So here's the start of the main stuff. Just put some stuff on the bottom cop list for like health and lives and stuff like that. Then start double buffering. First thing I implemented was gravity, which I just typed out and it worked, so I was quite pleased with myself that I got that straight off. Put in direction of travel, momentum style variable, so that if you walk off the end of a platform you don't just drop straight down, you sort of fall in the direction that you were moving. Then there's a case statement that deals with joystick input. I've had a bit of a time with jumping because you see I've got here this jump variable. And each time you go through the loop, the jump increases by 1, so that I can limit the height of the jump, but also stop you from being able to jump when you're in mid-air, so to speak, by setting this counter relatively short. It's not an ideal solution. I would like to be able to say, oh, can jump equals true, can jump equals false kind of thing, but if I put can jump equals false as soon as you start jumping, then the loop runs through so quickly that it would, as soon as you get off the ground, it would go, oh, you can't jump anymore, and the jump would never really happen. So that's still something I've got to improve, but it's kind of working well enough for now. I put in this V variable because the jump was very angular to start with, like you would go up and sort of down in a kind of triangle and look like she looked like she was hitting her head on an invisible ceiling. So I implemented this V variable that decreases as it goes, so the shape is blitted up by a big amount, and then by a slightly less amount, and then by a slightly less amount, to just smooth out the angle of the jump so it's less triangle-y. But moving on, that's just the rest of the joystick, direction of travel and movement. And then we get to collision detection, which Graham, big shout out to Graham for mentoring me through this whole process. He's put me onto this point command, which allows me to check the color of pixels where I need to, essentially. So the way I've done it is I've got 4, that's 2 for each, and it's 2 for each because the shape moves at 2 pixels per frame. So if I just did 1 detection point, when you're moving at 2 pixels per frame, you could potentially sort of miss your detection point and go straight through the object you're trying to have a collision with. And that's been working. The reason I'm checking in front and then checking underfoot is if I say, okay, when I detect a collision, can't walk through this horizontally and you can't walk through it vertically, then you would sort of walk into the side of a block and not be able to jump up to get on top of it. So I thought, well, I'll make it so that you check in front of you, and if you hit something you stop, which taught me that actually you need to push the player back in order to make them stop moving, which was interesting to learn. But yeah, so then I needed to check for a different color on the top of the block so that you could hit the block and stop moving, but also be allowed to jump up on top of the block, land on the block, and still be able to walk and jump and things. And the jump variable and things get reset when you hit the floor or when you hit the top of a block. Then I've just got a scrolling routine, which I knew how to do from my previous project, and I'll show you what it's looking like so far. Been quite enjoying the pixel drawing process as well. Joystick time. So here's Frizzle Sticks. She's got a health bar down here. That's on the bottom cop list. And these are my Lego blocks. She can climb up the Lego blocks, walk along the Lego blocks, and fall off the Lego blocks, and that's the direction of travel thing in action. Quite pleased with the little tree I drew, but at some point I need to learn how to tile map and actually build the level properly. But for now, this is where I'm up to. Thanks for watching.